The cows on the Chilean family farm decide to die, and a bunch of new calves come along to give it a second life. The cow who sang a song into the future. Sold. Absolutely sold. Don't care what the premise is. What a goddamn title. It was written and directed by Francesca Allegra, who's done shorts. This is their feature film debut, and certainly quite ethereal, eerie, environmentalist, and very, very odd, but very, very beautifully done. Very good story. Very much a show, tell, sometimes. It's very, very bizarre. I'll say that much before I get into the plot. And it was also written by Manuel Infante and Fernanda Araujo. Jola, I'm sorry, I'm really trying hard here not to butcher these names. I do apologize. We center around a few particular characters. One, a family headed by Cecilia, played by the woman from Blade 2. Oh my, because she's 52 and looks fucking incredible. Lenore Valeria. So I will say that much right now. She actually does a really good job here as Cecilia, a woman that is dealing with loss and also the struggle of trying to come to grips with this particular loss, family issues, and stuff like that. And also having her children, like, not necessarily acting out, but she isn't quite there for her children like she should be. She is for the daughter, not so much for the son. I'll talk about that a little bit later on. And there's also a character, Magdalena, who is played by Mia Maestro, and what a maestro she is. She certainly, conducts a hell of a goddamn performance. And then there's also the son, Tomas, who I do have to say the actor did a really good job here, despite the fact that he was only given the barest minimum of time to really tell his story. Enzo Ferrata Rossetti, who plays basically somebody that wants to live his own way, shall we say. It's not just a phase, I'll just say that much. So, essentially, Cecilia lost her mother. She needs to go back and take care of her dad when her dad falls ill. And she teams up with her brother to try and take care of the family dairy farm and also take care of the dad as things start to spiral out of control. And then suddenly, something really strange happens, something that dredges up a whole bunch of painful memories that Cecilia and others must reflect on. And really the whole theme of this movie, before I mention in the spoiler section what it is it's one of those where you really have to question why. Why would somebody do some particular thing that would lead to just the pain being spread out among everybody else? When you're gone, you are going to miss them when they're gone. And if you have lost somebody due to, whatever circumstances, whether by an unfortunate set of circus pants or, something where you just wonder, what could I have done? It does offer up a lot of questions, and you probably are having a whole lot of questions wondering what the fuck I'm actually talking about. It's a very bizarre movie, but it's very well filmed. Incredible cinematography, great stuff, and it's more about, I guess the best way to describe it would essentially be coming to grips with, certain things that have happened with you, and also, maybe respecting nature a little bit. It's like a more drawn out version of the Return to Innocence video by Enigma without going backwards. If you kind of understand that. Anybody that remembers that song, you probably can hear it in your head, and you can probably remember the video, and I can't remember one other song that Enigma did that actually was that memorable. Good stuff, though. Good stuff as far as performances and everything. It's not for everybody. It is a slow burn. You have to stick with this for about half the runtime, half the 98-minute runtime before things really start to, I guess, pick up. It's pretty much a slow burn. There's a lot of drama, a little bit of suspense, a little bit of art house horror. It sort of reminded me of In the Earth, just without the body horror. But there are a lot of, there are a few horrifying things. If you don't like seeing animals suffer, you may not care for this. And if you've lost somebody recently, this might really deeply affect you. It has its moments. I'm not going to say it's perfect, since countries are on the IMDb page are described. I believe it says Germany, Chile. Boy, it's chilly outside the U.S., and I think it's France. I believe this is a Chilean movie. It probably will play better there, but it certainly has talent behind the camera and in front of the camera. I'll give it that much. So I am going to get into spoilers. This is for a few bucks on Amazon. I mean, if the title alone doesn't sell you, then I really don't know what to tell you. Now, I will say there are no actual singing cows doing musical numbers. More on the pity, as cool as that would have been. But that's about it. I am going to get into spoilers here. It's on Amazon if you want to check it out. 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. Okay. So, the dad basically starts to have some form of dementia. I mean, they don't give a lot of details on these particular characters. But Cecilia is dealing with a whole lot. She's a doctor. She's trying to do some good things. Tomas, her son, is trans, but living as a woman, wants to maybe eventually modify, get the surgery. Nothing wrong with that. Just want to say that if you're going to be anti-LGBTQ, fuck off. Not just a phase. That's something she has to come to grips with. And there are a lot of, it's a lot of interpretation from the viewer, because this movie gives you enough to go on, but not enough to where you're not going to have to peel back a few layers here. Since the dad is ill, there's some weird, thing a little bit earlier on where there's a bunch of dead fish all around, and then this woman pops up wearing a helmet out of the river. What the hell is going on? Why is she acting weird? What the heck's going on? Maybe next time don't try to, ride your motorcycle or your little trikey or a little moped, whatever the fuck they do there, through the goddamn river. Turn it off, you're flooding it. The daughter really is probably the least fleshed out character. She's just a little girl that just is adventurous and has a couple decent scenes. There's also an environmentalist group that is protesting poisoning of the water by this pulp factory. That isn't necessarily explored on enough, even though there are some dead animals at some points. Good shots as far as, animals are suffering, and some good nature shots. I did note no actual singing cow. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my utter gal. 1 out of 10. I kid. Not 1 out of 10. Not 1 out of 10. Joke. In case anybody that made this film or acted in this film thinks that I mean serious. No, it's just meant for laughs. Not the bees. Oh no, it's the pesticides. There's just a lot of images. There's this elderly lady, Felicia, who is a family friend, lives in the woods or lives outside the woods, and it just seemed, I don't know, the way that they shot some of these scenes a little bit confusing. The nighttime scenes were a little bit too dark, a little bit like where it was like, oh, it sounds like a nice scene, sure wish I could see it. Yeah, there's some environmental talk, obviously, there's some fucked up shit going on. And Magdalena, pretty certain I'm just screwing up these names at this point. Mia, who I have to say is really fucking lovely, very lovely, and has actually a particularly fun. It's darkly funny. It's also kind of a little bit horrifying, where she's just wandering around after getting out of the woods. Basically, she ended up committing suicide. That's what happened. She ended up taking her own life, and now her family's trying to pick up the pieces. There's stuff that gets revealed a little bit later on. But there's this point where she just wanders into the house. After just wandering around, she wanders into the house she used to live at, and she eats, and whatever, the dad's there. The dad's not doing all that well. The dad sees her and is like, ho, 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 what is this? I've dreamt about saying certain things to you because, unfortunately, when you take your own life, when that stuff happens, you wonder about what you could have said, what you could have prevented, and that is the sad part, actually. That twinged on me a little bit. That got me a little bit. It is sad. Since she basically is the mother reincarnated, this is kind of the way, I guess, to come to grips with everything that's happened. The daughter is suddenly accepting of the fact that grandma's back. Oh, grandma's back, hooray, I don't know what's going on. So there was this kind of this funny dinner scene where Felicia is trying to block the fact that the grandma's back. Because Cecilia never had the best relationship with her mother. She starts yelling, wait, I didn't mean for you to leave us alone. I need to come to grips with this stuff. There was one point where Mag, as I'll just say, she takes the fence down and lets the cows go, and the cows must go to the river. It's an utterly amazing stampede. And then they end up dying because they drink from a river that's poisoned, because this pulp factory is poisoning the whole thing, I think. So, there was a poor moo cow, more moo cows die. The brother is blamed for the dairy farm not going all that well. Even after getting the cows back, they heard him, so they decided to just suffer utter defeat and go, yeah, I'm breaking out the puns right now at the end. And then there was this odd thing about this party deal with these environmentalists, and the mother was there. The grandma was there. And with her grandson, Tomas, basically... Again, there were some scenes that I don't think fully clicked, but then again, I'm not Chilean, obviously, so I don't know what hit. And then there's talks, Tomas talks to his grandmother, saying, I've thought about this kind of stuff. Don't do that. Help is out there. I just want to say it's never the answer. I'm not knocking, I'm not picking on people, but it's never the answer. And then weird weird shit starts happening, like maybe... animals are fighting back, like bees. There's some bees that come back after bees are killed by pesticides. Like, they come back threefold. So yeah, all the cows are dead. That sucks. That really sucks. Again, I did enjoy the scene between Tomas and Mag, the grandmother. That was actually a really good scene. It was really powerful. And then all the adult cows die, and then suddenly we see the calves, and there's just one calf, and then there's a bunch of calves. It's a rebirth. And then the mother basically tries to, the mother ends up seeming like she was either, drowning herself or trying to figure out what happened with her mother. And her mother rescues her. And, so Cecilia gets rescued, and she, thanks her mother. It's, haunting, and then sees Tomas. I guess Tomas saved her, and she realizes she needs to accept her son as he is. And then we got a swarm of bees, I guess, or locusts. I guess the apocalypse is upon us. And then the grandmother is wandering in the desert, seemingly there to bring forth other stuff to other B+. I'm not sure I necessarily understood this fully, but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it because it had great performances and some haunting imagery and some stuff that'll stick with me even if I didn't fully understand all of it. So B+. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.